One of my biggest disappointments of the COVID-19 situation is that we really didn't make good use of the interruption to kind of reevaluate some of our institutions or status quos, or even at a personal level, reevaluate our own personal habits and connections and such, right? See, at the beginning of COVID 19, when I learned that we were going to lock down for 3 weeks, I remember thinking that, wow, this is a great opportunity for me to change some personal habits. And when it became 2 months or 3 months, I remember thinking to myself, a lot of people are probably going to end relationships that didn't make sense to hold. And so at the end of it, if I improve my habits and improve my lifestyle, maybe I'll be in line to catch some of those relationships that are ending, right? A lot of people are going to lose their jobs, or they're going to quit their jobs, and we can reshuffle who does what, right? You might find that person A is doing a job that person B ought to be doing, and vice versa. And if they both lose their jobs and they go back to the job that they should be at, they could both be happy, right? I was thinking in those kind of lines, right? And when the lockdown became 6 months to a year, I remember thinking that we can reevaluate some of our, I don't know how to say this, but institutions or status quos, right? One thing I was really optimistic about, but unfortunately my optimism hasn't really been met, is that because so many people are working remotely, I was hoping that we would reevaluate how we measure time. What do I mean by that? Well, go watch any TV program at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're going to see a lot of ads for insomnia, pills you can take, and you're going to see get rich quick schemes, obviously. But especially insomnia, I have a big problem with that. I've never met a true insomniac. See, when I think about insomnia, uh, I've never met somebody who outright could. Well, I guess they do exist, but they're probably a very minor minority of this group who couldn't sleep for 3, 4, 5 days, where they were hallucinating and seeing things. They were so sleep deprived that they were at risk of literally dying from not sleep. I've never seen anybody like that. I've only seen insomnia in the context of they couldn't fit into a social environment because their sleep was so out of whack. And a lot of people have that kind of insomnia, which makes me wonder why can't we all get together and remeasure our time in some way, right? Especially if we're not even going to meet up anymore, right? If we're going to social distance, it'd be a perfect time for us to reevaluate that, right? Okay, so and the other nice thing I like about reevaluating our measure of time is that a lot of people are so used to working 9 to 5 that they've never gone out at 3 o'clock in the morning to marvel at the sky. And I just think that is sad, that to live their entire 70, 80, 90 years of life only from 8 a.m. until midnight, I just think that is sad. There's so much to see at night, and I just think it's sad. I'm disappointed that after 9 months we haven't done anything to readjust that. I still turn on the TV. I still see insomnia pills. I don't care about them because I don't follow the status quo clock anymore. I've gotten so used to the idea of waking up for an hour at a meeting and then going straight back to sleep that my sleep schedule kind of just floats all over the place now. It doesn't bother me at all. As long as I can attend those meetings. I've had times where I've literally sleepwalk through the meetings, and I can do that, so it doesn't bother me anymore. I'd rather be sleeping on my own timetable. The other thing I wish we would do, see, a lot of people keep wanting to champion this 4-day work week. I don't like it. First of all, it's a pipe dream, and second of all, depending on what you do for a living, 4 days is just not enough to gather a lot of momentum for the line of work that I'm doing, at least. I really can't speak for every career, but I think a lot of people would still have so much energy on that fifth day that why would you throw it away, right? That's what I think about that. I think a better solution is to have an 8-day week where we work 5 days and then take 3 days off. See, I've never hated working the 5 days. What I hated was not having a third day off, right? And I think a lot of people can say that. See, these two examples really illustrate, what do you want, right? If you answer that question honestly, I just want to be able to go to bed later, right? I just want to be able to have a third day off. It's so easy to come up with a solution, but so many people don't answer honestly what they want, right? Anyways, getting back to the other nice thing I like about the 8-day week is that if you're doing something every other day, the 7-day cycle really throws you off, right? For example, I want to fast every other day. The problem is if I have a meeting every Thursday at work, let's say, and it pretty much requires, well, it's not going to require me, but it encourages me to have a meal during the meeting. See, if I wanted to fast every other day and we had 8 days of the week, that would work a lot better, right? When I think I was in 6th grade at the time, I came up with this life hack that I would stay up really late on Friday, and then on Saturday I was so tired that I was sleeping like 12 hours, and then on Sunday I couldn't sleep anymore. I would sleep like 4 hours, and then I would oscillate, right? The problem with that oscillation is that because of the odd number of days in the week, it would throw my schedule off track, right? And it made me wish we had an even up. Well, that and the fasting. I think for fasting is more important now, but you get the idea. Anything you want to do every other day as a life hack would work a whole lot better in that regard. And besides, I don't mind working a 5th day. And I think if you honestly asked yourself, what do you hate more? The fact that you're working that 5th day or the fact that you don't have a 3rd day off? Why don't you answer that question honestly, right? What do you have as a problem? Is it insomnia? Or is it just that your hours are a little bit, your body clock cycles at a little bit different than 24 hours? See, if you answer those two questions, honestly, the answer jumps out at you, right? And so, unfortunately, a lot of people get so caught up in the status quo, right? They want to keep up with the Jonases that they don't honestly ask themselves what they're really after. That's really disappointing, in my opinion. I encourage you to use this. We're going to be locked down at least until the end of the year to think about some ways to improve life and to kind of spread the information around. Right? Don't keep it to yourself.